The village of Aurora sits on the east side of Cayuga Lake, a spot where the morning light is said to linger. The name Aurora means goddess of the dawn. It's the Mackenzie child's name that draws more than 70,000 people to this tiny village every year. They come for the fanciful furnishings and colorful ceramics that have been produced here since 1983. You can pick up a picture, or you might like the moose. It's $20,000. But you don't have to spend a dime to see how it's made and tour the 1870s farmhouse.
Well, welcome to the Rose Petal Room.
Oh my, look at this. The house is decorated top to bottom with Mackenzie Childs. There are 15 rooms on 3 floors. Look at this bathroom.
The bathrooms are the best part about the farmhouse. Every one of our bathrooms is fantastic.
Yeah. One of the iconic designs, right?
People know the fish. Yeah, the fish is a big part of the line as well.
And all this is hand-painted.
This is the courtly check room.
The farmhouse has been redone from the days when Victoria and Richard Mackenzie Childs owned the company, but many of their touches remain, and some have been added.
Oh my
So
goodness, look at that.
There's your double shower inside the closet.
The gardens are gorgeous. And this former dairy farm still has animals.
So most people keep the chickens in a barn.
We like to keep ours in a palace.
Wow.
There's the Chicken Coop Palace and the palatial lakeside homes that remind visitors of the village's rich history and some of the rich people who lived here. Today, you can stay at the home built in 1857 for entrepreneur E.B. Morgan.
One thing that people don't realize about him is, because he doesn't have a famous name in some ways, is that without him, although he didn't found any of these 3 things, without him they wouldn't exist today. One of them is Wells College, Wells Fargo, and the New York Times.
So how did a kid from Aurora, New York end up owning part of the New York Times and Wells Fargo?
Well, that comes back to the lake. Everything here comes back to the lake.
When the Erie Canal opened, Morgan made a fortune shipping goods from Aurora to the markets in New York City. One day, Henry Wells showed up at the dock. He fell in love with Aurora and decided to build a college here.
And he wanted it to be a women's college.
Why? I mean, there were so few women going to college then.
That's exactly why. He felt that women had not been given a chance to show what they could do.
Mm-hmm.
I say give her the chance.
Wells' friend, Ezra Cornell, wanted him to build Wells College next to the school he was building in Ithaca, but Wells was set on Aurora. Today, Wells is co-ed. The reunions are well attended. We met some ladies from the class of '49.
The lake is such a wonderful atmosphere, you know. And of course, we studied a bit, you know. We learned some things, yes.
Well, there were no boys around then to distract you.
None, that's right.
Please join me in welcoming Wells alumna Pleasant Teal Rowland.
Rowland is one of Wells' most successful grads. She founded the American Girl Dolls Company.
No wonder we look back over our shoulder with fondness, as Aurora is doing in her window. Here in days past, we found our strength, our fire, our light.
Rowland had words of inspiration for the class of 2014, but she stopped giving interviews. She's still smarting a bit from the lawsuits and protests by some of the locals when she announced plans to transform the village. That was in 2001, when Aurora's landmarks were in trouble. Mackenzie Childs was in bankruptcy, and the Aurora Inn was condemned. Rowland bought Mackenzie Childs and spent tens of millions of dollars renovating the inn and other historic homes and businesses.
Can you show us around?
Sure, come on in.
Rowland convinced Sue Edinger to move back to central New York from Washington to run the Inns of Aurora.
It's that feel where you go back and forth between old and new that I think really makes it such a special and warm place to be. Pleasant Rowland is an incredibly charismatic woman. Her vision that she created that day when I initially talked to her, and the fact that I could be a part of restoring history where I grew up and get to come to work to a place like that, I mean, she's very compelling. Make no mistake about it, and I have never once regretted moving back up here. It's a very magical feeling in this room.
The newest of the inns at Aurora is named for Pleasant. She decorated Rowland House, and all of the artwork is from her personal collection.
The wallpaper, the fabrics on the couch, everything surrounding this is designed to highlight the art.
The third floor here at Rowland House is a real nod to Mackenzie Childs. This is one of the company's quintessential patterns. It's called Courtly Check, and a local artisan painted this. One check at a time, by hand. It took 16 days.
One night here goes for $325. Rowland House is the latest, but not the last of Pleasant Rowland's projects. No word yet on what she'll do with Taylor House across the street.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Come on board the Isle of Skye. Ready?
The views from the water are incredible.
I'd love to see the college from the water.
Oh, we can do that. Wells College, very famous institution.
Captain Dennis does 3 boat tours a day, taking tourists for sunset cruises and tastings at wineries that dot Cayuga Lake.
Because anybody can drive to a winery, and I think people like unique. And this is unique.
Unique is the captain's word. To describe Aurora, we'll say extraordinary.
Aurora.